Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to do a late summer planting of buffalo grass. It's probably a month and a half past the prime time to plant buffalo grass, but I do believe it's going to do very well anyways. What I'm going to do exactly like I did last time, except I have to substitute perlite for the sand. And what I did last time was soak the buffalo grass seed in water overnight, well, about 24 hours, as close to that as possible. Then I mix in sand, or in this case perlite, until it's relatively dry but still really damp. And then I'll let it sit for about 2 days. Then I'll go out and plant it. Get my seeds in the bucket. Then we'll add, don't have to add too much water. But I do want them floating. Let's see if that's enough. That should be plenty. Now, we'll just take this and set it aside somewhere in this nice hot shed, and I'll come back tomorrow and add the perlite. All right, it's been 24 hours. I haven't even looked at this stuff since I put it in here yesterday. Looks pretty good. All right, now I'm going to add enough of the perlite just to make this like a damp mixture, and then we'll let it sit again for 2 more days. A lot of water in the bottom, and this perlite is kind of wet, so it's not soaking it up like I wanted it to. I think I'm going to have to lay this on its side and drain that excess water out. I don't want the buffalo grass sitting in pure water for 3 days. Oops. Okay, I'm not sure if I showed this or not, but I took the seed/perlite mixture out of the bucket. I drained the water out of it. There was a little too much water for my liking, so I transferred it to this much larger bucket, and there's no standing water at the bottom. But the seed is very damp, so it should be germinating as we speak. Let me show you this a little better in the sunlight. That is the mix after 3 days, and you can see that the buffalo grass seed has swollen up a bit, and once I get this into the ground, it should do like it did last time and sprout within 3 days or so. So now what I'm going to do is take maybe a third of this or so, put it back in the bucket. This is what I'm going to use to scratch up the ground, kind of a glorified back scratcher. And I believe I'm going to bring the scissors along, and wherever I find some nasty weeds, I'll just cut them off at the base. My plan is to fill in some of the sparse areas. I can put all of this in there. All right, let's just do that. I didn't want to lug around a big, heavy bucket, but this perlite weighs almost nothing, so this is not a big deal. All right, my plan is to seed some of the really sparse areas, including an area where a dog started digging during our birthday party. Get those filled in, but the majority of this I want to spread in an area that didn't get any seed at all. And hopefully we get some really good germination. The dog dug the hole right there. You can see the depression. It kicked the dirt way the heck back there, so I didn't have any dirt to fill this back in, but that should be just fine once this starts growing. So I got a chunk right here. It looks like I'm real sparse right in this corner right here, but as for the rest of the patch goes, there's a little bit of sparseness right here, but I think I have pretty good coverage, but we'll see once we get into it. Alright, I don't want to disturb any existing buffalo grass. Got a little bit right there, and a little bit right there. And I cut the grass yesterday, so there's a bit of clippings in here, which makes it difficult to see what's going on. Yeah, there's a little bit right here. And in the end, I really don't have to do this at all, probably, because the buffalo grass is going to spread throughout these areas eventually anyways, but I would like it to do it faster than if it had to spread from way over there. Yeah, this is a pretty big area here. This is a weed. All of this stuff was sprayed, but purslane takes forever to die, and then it comes back right away. Yeah, that's buffalo grass right there, and apparently it has a pretty good root system already because I went right over it with my little hand rake here. Alright, I think that's good enough right there. Boy, it's pretty easy to see with this big old perlite. This is commercial grade perlite, and it's a good deal chunkier than the stuff you get at like the big box stores or a garden center. I got this from a greenhouse supply store. If you didn't see the earlier videos, this stuff sprouts on the surface very well, but they recommend that you bury it a ½ inch. So I'm burying some of it's going to remain on the surface, and in the end I believe all of it's going to sprout. Okay, now move on to the next area. Oh, I was gonna do a little bit of weeding while I was at it. Okay, let's move on. Alright, I am gently kneeling on this, and as long as you don't slide your feet around, everything should be just fine. Right here, I'm going to do a weed and seed, pull a weed out, and then drop some seed right in the hole. I watered this pretty good yesterday, so the ground is really nice and loose. I really don't know what the germination rate is for this stuff, but I did see a couple seeds on the ground, so I know it didn't all germinate, which I didn't expect anyways, but it sure seemed like it by the coverage that I got. I'm almost to the other side of the buffalo grass plot, and not too much seed left. I don't think I'm going to be able to get down to that lower part at all, but that's okay. All I'm really doing is thickening things up, and with any luck, this stuff will go to seed this year. The blue grama has already gone to seed, which is pretty cool. And if you plant it on the high ground, any grass you plant on the high ground is going to drop seed, and that seed is going to wash to the low ground. So with any luck, I'll get some buffalo grass in the lower areas naturally. This actually went quite a long ways for only being 1/4 pound. The rest of the entire planting was 2 pounds. Some of these weeds come out real easy, but sometimes they make a big old hole, and it's a lot better to just cut them with the scissors. I'm trying to cut as much as I can as I go, cut or pull, but eventually I'll have to get in here and deal with the weeds again. I'm going to spray quinclorac on them one more time this year, and that should be it for this foxtail. I think the foxtail is nearly done for the year. Alright, I think I'll get a couple more spots here and then see what I can get back towards the beginning, and that'll be it. I almost forgot about the deer. There was a deer and its fawn right in this area somewhere. I didn't see any prints, but they were grazing on this stuff, and I caught it on video from up on the flat roof porch. I'll throw that video in here for you to see it. This ground is incredibly easy to work, and it's early morning, so I have a good deal of shade, so it's actually quite pleasant out here. Yeah, sometimes this foxtail has extensive roots, and sometimes it just pops right out of the soil. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay, let me do a little bit over there. Working my way back now. This should fill things in quite nicely, but no matter what, it's going to take a few years for this to fill in all the way. But by the end of next year, I think this is going to look really good, because it's doing a really good job so far. Okay, looks like one more spot and I will be out of seed. Yeah, one of the biggest things with planting prairie grasses is controlling the weeds, especially the weed grasses. Once you disturb soil like this, you activate all the weed seeds. But once you get an established stand, you're not going to have many weeds at all. I just went through an area of nurse grass, and the first 2 years I was pulling weeds all over the place. And so far this year, there was only 3 weeds in the entire patch. All right, this is the last of the seed. Not real concerned if some of it's sitting on top, because it'll sprout either way. Biggest concern is the seed being too deep. Okay, that's going to do it. I'll give you an update on this in probably a couple days if it starts coming up, but it's late July. I believe it's the 28th or 29th, and we have some very hot weather coming up, so I think this is going to do just fine. I think I'll do a short when this stuff starts sprouting, and I'm going to guess that's going to be in 2 to 3 days. It comes up really quick when you do that long soak like I did. 1 day's worth of soaking and 2 days sitting in a damp medium makes it sprout really fast. So 1 to 2 days I'll do a short on this and show you the progress. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.